guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this magnificent Monday here in Connecticut. Life's good, campers. Life is good. Anyway, let's get right to it. You saw the thumbnail. Cat Anderson and Buster Cooper. Oh my God. This clip was sent to me by who else? Joe. It's either Joe or Dion. They're my two main guys. Everybody else chips in now and then, but incredible. Anyway, yeah, I saw this clip years ago, and it was just brought to my attention again, and it is an absolute must-see if you haven't seen it. Anyway, let me honk a little bit. I have played quite a bit. I'm off to Maine tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll get to that in a second. But let's see what we got, and we will talk about Cat Anderson and Buster Cooper. All right? Anyway, quick glitch, jump cut. I should probably have my laptop nuked. Anyway, yeah, this was sent to me by Joe. It's an absolutely incredible clip. Now, it's, you know, the great Duke Ellington and whatnot. But there are some incredible solos, and the last one is going to be Cat Anderson. Now, it's incredible. You know, him and Maynard and some of these guys, you just expect them to do such extraordinary things that it's almost, ho-hum. Yeah, all right, he's doing his thing. Did Maynard play MacArthur Park? Yeah, how did he sound? Well, he sounded good. You know, I mean, it's just so normal now. But Cat Anderson doing his thing. And there's a couple of things I want you to pay attention to. First of all, he ends on, you know, F's above double C. Yeah. You expect that from him, right? But there are some tremendous shots of his chops. All right? There is no tension anywhere in his corners. Just completely relaxed corners. They don't budge. It's just locked in there. It's absolutely incredible. But there's one thing that I want you to talk, and it's so fleeting, you might miss it. It's towards the beginning of his solo, and they're looking at a close-up of the left side of his chops. All right, and I almost missed it because I'm looking at his corners, but right around his eye, a muscle on his eye just flicked. Now, as I told you before, guys, the tongue controls everything. The tongue is directly connected to many of the muscles in the embouchure. They just are. But any other muscle of the embouchure, if it's not directly connected to the tongue, it is directly connected to a muscle that is connected to the tongue, so secondarily. Okay? Now, again, these muscles around your eye sockets and everything, they can get tense too. And absolutely, it was just a little flick. You might have to watch it a couple times, but it's there if you're looking for it. Okay? That. Other than that, just doing his thing, man. Just doing his thing. And Cat being Cat. Before that, the great trombone player, Buster Cooper, comes out and does an absolutely amazing extended solo on euphonium. Guys, it is tremendous. And you talk about pop. Oh my God. Every single note pops like you wouldn't believe. And both of them, watch, they're not overblowing. Unlike Maynard with all this histrionics, they're not overblowing. Cat's just, They're not overblowing at all. And the tones they get are just off the charts. Off the charts. Okay? And Cat, even down in the lower register, sounds nice and full. With a mouthpiece, from what Jerry tells me, that is, now he's played more than one. Okay? But Jerry was telling me it's all but flat with a hole in it. I mean, it's a very, very small mouthpiece, but he's getting, with thick lips and the whole 9 yards, he's still getting a great sound on it, even in the lower register. So, anybody says, my lips are too big, I can't play a small mouthpiece. Well, you're not playing correctly, so that's why you can't play a small mouthpiece. But I digress. Anyway, Buster Cooper, pop, pop, pop. And guys, I want to talk about the euphonium a little bit. Now, and all you euphonium players, and I have several subscribers, don't get the wrong idea. Okay? But I truly believe, and Jerry agrees with me, of all the brass instruments, the euphonium / baritone, whatever you want to call it, is the easiest one to play. Easiest one to play. You start with piccolo trumpet. That's probably the hardest one to play and play correctly. Okay? Trumpet comes next. Trumpet, once again. But now that we have the same mouthpiece playing both instruments, B-flat trumpet and the 1SB, it makes it a lot easier. The pick, that is. All right? Then you got the French horn with that cylindrical mouthpiece. Now, pretty much all of you can tone and power just blow away the greatest horn player, Barry Tuckwell. Blow him away. But with the cylindrical thing, it's an absolute clam bake. And as you see, doesn't take long to see, you can't overblow a French horn and think you're going to be the least bit precise. So that is even though, the fingering and everything is very similar and all this sort of stuff, the key's a little different. That is, even though you get the tone and power and range, the precision is something completely different. Then you've got the euphonium / baritone. Couple things. Instead of having your tone be 2 feet in front of you and being projected, the tone is up near your head, the bell. Okay? So you get a better idea of what you're actually sounding like with that. But also, the technique for playing a euphonium is the exact same thing. The exact same thing we're doing. But because of the mouthpiece, you can take in more meat. And to my way of thinking, it is easier to get around the euphonium than it is the trumpet. It just is. But everything is the same. There's a little more of a flap as opposed to the compression. But like the trombone, now the trombone, you got the slide, and you're reading the bass clef and all that sort of stuff. Most of the high school arrangements for concert band all come with bass clef or treble clef for the euphonium players. So I had all of my students, if their chops were right, auditioning for All-State and Western Regional on 2 instruments. And I had a handful of kids that got in on both, and they all chose trumpet, but that's that. Now, it got to a point where I was getting a little bugged with the judges because they have lots of trumpet players, and they have very, very few euphonium players. And my trumpet players were fabulous, but they were getting in on euphonium just so they would have a couple of euphonium players, which wasn't fair. So I just had them stop doing that. But it can be done very, very easily. And also, jumping back and forth between the two, after playing a couple hours, for the sake of argument, on the euphonium, and Jerry doesn't make the trombone mouthpiece anymore. The best one you can do, and he told me before he passed, was a Bach 12C or 15C for trombone and euphonium. Okay? Anyway, it will feel fine. And then you go back to the trumpet, and the 1SB will feel like it's a needle against your lip for a couple minutes. You get past that, and you're back. No residual effects whatsoever. Tuba. It's almost a different animal. It's that. You very rarely get to that. You very rarely do it. So it's a different honk altogether. Once again, very little air. Arnold Jacobs showed us that. You know, one lung and the whole 9 yards. Tongues in the same pot. Don't tighten the corners, the whole 9 yards. But that's a different thing, a different animal. I don't like jumping around with that. And back to the French horn for just a second. The cylindrical, but also the rim is very, very thin. It's easy to cut. It's easy to cut. So if I'm going to jump from one to the other, it's usually piccolo and all my B-flat trumpets and euphonium. But listen to the pop. Listen to the pop. All right. All right. Enjoy the video. And guys, let's talk on Friday. Okay. I will have my laptop. I can fulfill book orders. I can take orders for the 1SB, but I won't be able to get them into the mail until Friday or Saturday. But I will take the order. Okay? So I can communicate any questions, any more of these great clips. I'm there. I'm just in a hotel. All right? All right, guys. Don't miss me too badly. All right, guys. Love you all.